Hello everyone and welcome to this channel and this video and whatever it is for you, but it is a topic presentation for marketing communication. We're going to talk about TV and radio marketing, which might seem as a little bit of a vague or an old stylish way of marketing. So let's get to the stereotypes right away. It's often seen as, to be honest, as vague and not effective. But it all depends on what you call effectiveness, because it is a significant amount of reach. It is a significant overall targeting for a lot of people. And sometimes it's something that cannot be avoided, like a Super Bowl ad. And I'm going to use examples afterwards for sure. So another example of, stereotypes, just a little opinion, sometimes old things as this typewriting machine may be seen something as, good. So let's not be judgmental of TV and radio just yet. TV ads are often called to be one of the most expensive marketing tool there is, but it all depends on the perspective and scale of what you're trying to get. If you're trying to raise awareness of your product and service on a global scale, maybe it's cost effective and not expensive. Maybe consider the reach. TV ads are considered to be not effective at targeting. But it's also not always true, because you can identify what categories of people are watching what kind of TV series or even channels, and what channels can be used best. So I'm gonna crushing those stereotypes right away. So what are general characteristics of TV and radio? Radio and TV are among the medias that form commonly referred to as specific traditional media. So they're known as traditional media. It's something that is often first thought of in traditional media mix. It has sometimes big requirements. It could be used as a very effective, helpful part of your creative campaign, because with all the tools, with everything that you can put in it, you can be very creative at it. Advertisers often try to tell stories within their ads that have an impact on the audience. You can touch somebody's heart by putting a proper ad at the proper time. Imagine Christmas ad. Imagine, at Mother's Day or Valentine's Day ad. Those kind of ads that kind of, get in their hearts and people know it. Some other things that we should know about TV and radio. It's local businesses constitute a significant amount of radio advertising. Local businesses, it's something that they choose over, digital marketing. Radio does not require the video equipment and logistics of producing more expensive television commercials. So radio is actually something less expensive than TV. So what are the advantages of these tools before we go into how these tools are used today? Reach is a major advantage of TV ads. And let me just quote some specialists here. Advertisers have the best chance to reach a large audience through television. Again, coming back to the Super Bowl. Super Bowl, millions of people are watching. Everybody's waiting. And here's an ad. I mean, those ads are enormously expensive, but it can be very effective. Helps raising brand awareness and feeding the need to know the brand. When people don't know something, they need to see it a lot. On a billboard, on a radio to hear about it, on a TV, in their journal, in their magazine. That is part of the thing that they need to have to feed their brand awareness. Television also offers the greatest creative opportunity among the traditional media. Nothing else has as much time and as dynamic and moving images as TV ads. With TV, you can target emotional connections, incorporate characters that the audience can relate to, and offer multi-sensory appeal. Like, ask a celebrity to come in, and then this ad is already getting people. It's already working. Radio is typically viewed as one of the lower cost traditional media, so there it is. And accessibility during travel time. When you are driving your car, you're not supposed to be on your phone. You're not supposed to talk, you're not supposed to text. So what can you listen to? It's the radio. Yes, that's the big time. That's the money time. What about the disadvantages of these tools? And radio ads are ephemeral. You hear it and then you don't know what it was about. Maybe you I wanted to buy that car, but I don't know what can I buy now, because I don't remember what is the name company or what is the phone that I call. There it goes. It is gone sometimes, so you can't get that back. It's costly, well beyond the reach of small businesses. 30-second national TV spot can cost as much as 350 grand. That is enormous amount of money. time to change. Sometimes if your ad is, as not good and as not effective, or maybe it's discriminatory, it needs to be changed. By the time you have taken it off the platforms, it might take a while. Difficulties on tracking and calculating the interaction level. It is also sometimes very challenging at effectiveness of specific platform. It is different if you're using only this tool, like only TV, then all people who are coming, but also you have personal connections and all of that, which is also beyond understanding as for now, which need to come to as one thing, as one promotional mix. Distracted and impatient viewers. People aren't watching as much television as they did before. They might see just, I saw this, I don't want this, or, ad-free channels. So what are the trends and how do we come to all of this? 2020, the key is to have a clear understanding of the market, so the money spent on the product advertising isn't wasted. Small businesses can often produce and place an ad in just a few days. Timeless also means that you can deliver more timely messages to promote current business activities and promotions. So let me just not be the only one speaking here. And I'm gonna allow one of the specialists to actually talk about this. And he will introduce how TV can be actually more effective than digital marketing today.
It's a $90 billion global business. Digital ads have overtaken all other forms of advertising, promising to measure views and effectiveness more accurately. But is that really the case?
I may be alone here, but I would say digital advertising is not very effective. I would say it has the opportunity to be super effective, but today I would say that oftentimes it's not even as effective as buying television or print or outdoor. So for example, when we buy television, every time you pay for an ad, it actually appears in the program, believe it or not. Whereas digital, if you buy an ad, you may never have a chance to be on the screen. So check for television. Measuring audience, some sort of panel is used and the households are vetted. And there aren't fake households, they're real households. Whereas digital, you've got this problem with bots and you might be targeting bots instead of real people. So again, television, you don't have that problem. And then you think about things like brand safety. There are governing bodies in every country that actually look at the content and make sure that the content meets certain standards. With the internet, there are no standards.
Retailer John Wanamaker famously said, "Half my advertising is wasted, I just don't know which half." He died nearly a century ago, but by all accounts we're still no closer to answering his dilemma, particularly with digital ads.
If you think about it, what he's saying is that if I had a XY graph and X represented chance of working and Y represented the percentage ads I'm buying, it would be this perfect bell curve right around 50%, where half of them worked, half of them didn't work. The reality is, with digital, we now are buying ads that have no chance of working because they're not in view, because they're fraudulent, because they're on content that's harmful for a brand. And in that case, what we're actually seeing is there's now a negative part to that X graph that never existed before. And so that whole curve shifted over. So now, instead of half your ads having a chance to work, it's a fraction of your ads have a chance to work.
So what's the problem, and how can we better improve effectiveness measurement?
I think we made some decisions very early on in the industry, things to measure. For example, an impression was used as an ad served. And what we're finding now is that's probably not the right atomic unit to use for trading. Well, the good news is that this is all reversible. There's now technology out there that will help an advertiser make sure that every ad they buy has a chance of working in digitally, and that's making sure that you're eliminating fraud. It's making sure that when you're buying on content, the content is meeting your standards of what's suitable for your brand. And then finally, it's focusing on making sure every ad meets a minimum threshold of viewability. A lot of times people use the MRC from the US as a guidelines, and that's 1 second for a display ad and 2 seconds for a video ad.
And that means once you've properly measured views, you end up with better data.
Ideally, we can start to leverage digital data in the way it's supposed to, which is figure out which ads are actually working, which which creative needs to be in front of what audience for how long in order to actually influence the client and drive more sales. But we can't do that until we have clean data. And what I mean by that is, unless we get rid of the fraud and we get rid of the impressions that aren't in view and never were in view, it's really hard to figure out what's working, because we'll end up making assumptions that lead to just bad decisions. The other piece that's super important is creative. Not every creative is developed the same.
And we will let you the intrigue to be there. I'm just going to continue here for the time's sake. And the link to this video will actually be available in the video description on YouTube. So how do markets use these tools today? The key here is to have a clear understanding of the market, so the money spent on broadcast advertising isn't wasted, and actually good investment will actually make profits. And the combinational approach is the wave of the future. Before I actually give you another example and another small person that will talk, I'll actually just go through key steps of successful with TV and radio ads. Establish your target market. Set a rough budget for broadcasting advertising, when you'll know that you can contact sales managers and TV and radio stations and talk to them about managing something. Talk to other business people in your area. Try to find that niche where you can put your ads and be effective. Ask about the audience delivery of the available spots, and inquire about the production of your commercial. When you will know all those pieces together, when you'll come all of this, actually TV and radio ads will be as effective as something else that is, way more expensive. And what do businesses say today? One of the examples is Chuck Kendall, founder and CEO of Marketing Analytics. We've integrated text responses into our exclusive programmatic buying platform for radio. By leveraging our 19-year historical database of radio responses data, we ensure profitable ROI, return on investment, at every media intersection. And this is just another example of how an old tool can be used today. It needs to be integrated with something like texting. When people are responding to something like, oh, write a text and all that, this is a lot more effective than something else where people are bombarded with information. So some practical applications of all of this before we get into wrapping up. It's when it comes to effective use of technology we possess today as humanity, it all comes to integration of the tools and use them together. This is why it is so important to have a balanced IMC plan and promotion mix. TV and radio can be very impactful and positive choice for big companies with a worldwide reach market share, and we'll have to talk about that. Businesses with very specific target audiences, and any small medium enterprise that needs to focus on local region or country, because that is where maybe is your niche. Lastly, how did coronavirus affect this tool? And I'm not gonna be, talking about this a lot. Radio has been almost at the same level because, people are not watching or listening to it more as TV. TV has raised almost to 43%, and I don't know if you can see my pointer here, but it has raised to 43% and about 40% during the daytime, way above the predictions of 2019. So never estimate the importance of the tools that are not in use right now. Maybe that is something that can be used for your business. If you're interested in sources and references right here, links are available in the video descriptions on YouTube. Thank you for your attention and your time, and please don't forget to subscribe, write a comment, and it is easy for you and it's valuable for us. We want to hear your feedback. So don't forget to watch your TV, listen to the radio, and by doing so, you might find some value and help others. However, I'm pretty sure you're already doing this because it's Corona time. Stay tuned, be blessed, and be healthy. Thank you for watching.